it is time to talk about Street Fighter 6. I played Street Fighter 6. It was awesome. Thanks for watching. See you guys. No, I'm joking. They waited the whole episode to hear me talk about Street Fighter and then just turn off. No, so I played about Street Fighter for about 3 hours, 3 hours. We queued up, and I went out there 3 different times. We queued up 3 times to play it. They said you have 3 games each, and we abused that system royally. We just sat there until they kicked us off 3 times. So I got to play against Davey. I got to play against Phil. I got to play against Spencer. I got to play all 3 of them, and I got to play all 3 of them for about half hour each. I actually have footage, which I'll try and put up now, of me playing. I play Ken. That's my main. I played all the characters in the demo. They had 8 characters. And about as I said, I mainly played Ken. They had 4 stages, and it's Street Fighter, baby. That's what it is. It's like quarter circle back, quarter circle forward, punch, kick, Hadouken, Shoryuken. I want some pound cake. I want some pound cake, and
Patty cake. You should do that in Nappa voice because he did that in Dragon Ball Z
I
Bridge.
want some pound cake. Vegeta now. Shoryuken.
Patty cake. Are you the patty cake champion?
Patty cake champion. But no, Street Fighter. Oh, it's so good. I mean, if you like, so I would recommend listening to the PlayStation, the PS Retrest guides, because they know a lot about fighting games. They're like, this move comes out in frame 6 and it hits this much percentage, and you can do this angle and all that. I'm just like, I have no clue what even any of that means. I'm just like, ooh, Ken looks pretty. He has nice colours. I like the colours of his outfits. Like, I'm not super analytical when it comes to fighting games, so bear with me. I do apologise if it's not as technical as you would like. But yeah, the characters are really fun. The guys said that it plays more like Street Fighter 4 than Street Fighter 5, which I do kind of agree with, from what I can tell. You have a new charge meter, a counter meter. What else is there? There's so much stuff that like it's like Ken and Ryu play like Ken and Ryu, so it's like back circle kick to do your spin kick. Forward quarter circle punch to do Hadouken, and then Shoryuken, which is like the uppercut. They play very similar to how they always play. They had Yuri, Guile, and then a couple of new characters. It was a lot of fun. I won a couple of matches, but they basically destroyed me because they're all fighting game aficionados. They love their fighting games on the PlayStation podcast, and and we got to play. You were saying with Killer Instinct, there were some setups with sticks, like arcade sticks. There was a couple of those. I didn't get to try them. I only got to try on the PS5 controllers. So they have PS5 controllers.
The DualSense 5.
Yeah, the DualSense 5. It was fun. I think I prefer it on an Xbox controller. The loading times were really good. There wasn't very much loading at all. It was instantaneous. But it did say in the bottom corner of the screen, it said A button, even though we're on a PlayStation controller. So it's either running off an Xbox or running off a PC. I'm assuming it's running off a PC.
It's probably for the PC, because back in the Eurogamer 2013 event 2, there's like Need for Speed Rivals over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's got DualShock 4 controllers. Then the news article popped up and just heckled it, saying, oh, this is actually run on PC, not on like PlayStation. And I think that's what's the case there with Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, so it was running on a PC. The loading times were very quick, but I'm assuming the loading times will be very quick as well on the SSDs from the Xbox and the PlayStation when you get the full game. It was so polished and it ran really well. Like, I couldn't see like I feel like this game must be close to launch, or it must be nearly done. I don't like. Capcom have got Resident Evil 4 remake coming out early next year, but I feel like maybe Street Fighter might come out just afterwards, or maybe even before it. It felt so polished. I can't see it having much more left to do. I didn't experience. I played it for about 3 hours and didn't experience any bugs, any glitches. The loading was fantastic. The graphics were really polished. The gameplay was fantastic. I think, rest assured, if you're a Street Fighter fan, you will enjoy this game because it feels and looks like Street Fighter and it plays really well. As I said, the guys were saying it's very similar to Street Fighter 4, which they said was the best modern Street Fighter. It's got got like the paint stain stuff like you would have in Street Fighter 4. It's like where you do certain attacks, it looks like paint's coming off you and stuff. It has that again, which is really cool.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching the gameplay of Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it's very pretty. It's a very pretty game, and it's next gen, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
Also, I seen for the video that there's a bit of a techno in the soundtrack, and I think it's very similar to like Mega Man 11, because if you listen to OST of it, you just get some like electronic bits into it, and it just sounds really good.
We couldn't really hear anything because it was obviously we were in the event and it was loud, people just talking and stuff, so we couldn't really hear any of the music. But we had a lot of fun. But I will take your word for that. I think that sounds good if that is the case. I don't know when to expect it next year. I said probably early next year because there can't be much left to polish on this because it does feel like a polished product. They could release this now and it would be fine. I think it is very, very
well. They already got the beta out, so I think they're just basically getting people's inputs and see how they get on with the beta. Well, the online matches, because I think even the game is almost complete, they still need to make sure they iron out a lot of bugs to do with the online matches.
Yeah, I mean we've got Tekken 8 coming out next year and Street Fighter 6, so this should be a good year next year. Fighters.
Well, I asked you another question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did any of your folks said like how it compares to Street Fighter 5?
So they're saying it's much better than Street Fighter 5. That's what the guys said. I'm not very good at judging it, to be honest. They're saying that it felt more like Street Fighter 4 than it did Street Fighter 5, and they're saying that they're trying to sweep Street Fighter 5 under the rug and make sure it's like forget that even existed, almost attitude. It feels like 4.2, I guess, or like 4 again.
Yeah, because from what I gather is that Street Fighter 5 tries to revolutionize the gameplay and focus on more like on combos, but I think it just ends up becomes more complicated, and it ends up like tries to take it a bit too seriously. Like they put ads into this whole game. Also, it comes out only for like PC and PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So it looks as if Street Fighter 6 could well be the true sequel for the Street Fighter 4.
I believe so, yeah, and that's what as I said, the Phil Spencer and Davey know much more about fighting games than I do, and they were saying that they were impressed. This is a return to form for Street Fighter, and they can't wait to play it. They were all very, very impressed with it, and they were very happy that we went to play it. I enjoyed myself. As I said, I'm a bit of a noob. I'm not really I'm not a fighting game aficionado. I don't know all the technical stuff, but from what I played, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was solid. I played a bit of Street Fighter 5 on my PS4, and I never really liked it. I enjoyed Street Fighter 4, and this does feel more like Street Fighter 4 to me as well. But I don't know the technical terms and the technical timings and all this stuff. But the guys did say they really enjoyed it. They played different characters. I was Ken the whole time. Davey was Ryu. Phil was Guile. And Spencer was Yuri. And we all had a good time. They beat me most of the time because they're good at fighting games. I'm not. I won a couple of matches, so I'm not too upset. And they didn't perfect me that often, so I was worried that they were just going to perfect me every match, but they didn't. Yeah, the combos, as I said, it feels like Street Fighter. I mean, that's the best praise I can really give to it. If you know how to play Street Fighter, it's like, as I said, quarter circle back, kick. Quarter circle forward punch is the finishes with Ryu and Ken, and they play the same way as they always have. It looks
So
pretty.
what's Street Fighter 5 like? Is it like the same way you can do that?
I haven't played that much Street Fighter Five, to be honest. I've played a little bit of it, and I think so, but I don't think it's as smooth. I don't know. I feel like they tried to change too much. Apparently, I said I'm not the expert when it comes to Street Fighter Five, but Street Fighter Six, I'm sold. I'm probably gonna buy it, and I'm not much of a fighting game fan, so I'm totally in for it.
I feel the same way, but my only problem is it's just going to be quite expensive to buy because I think
Yeah.
it would sell more than like 40 quid, as I imagine.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be £70, I imagine, and it's probably not gonna be on It's probably not gonna be on Game Pass because it's got PlayStation support paid for all the marketing and stuff for it. So yeah, probably wait for it to go on sale myself personally. But if you like Street Fighter, I would recommend playing it. It's a very, very, very good game, very solid. It's, as I said, return to form. I feel like this is the best Street Fighter since 4. I know there's only been one between 4 and this, but you know what I'm saying.
Now I've been having a look around, and yeah, so to add to this whole topic,
Yeah, go ahead.
there's an Xbox fighting sale which is on right now, which could be going on for about 2 weeks. So the closest you ever get to Street Fighter, I don't know about many others, whether there's like Street Fighter 4, but the closest you ever get is either Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But you definitely get savings on like Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, as well as Dead Alive 6. So, for instance, Mortal Kombat 11, you get it for like 12 quid.
Yeah.
Definitive edition of Tekken 7 sells for like 23 to 74, and I think you can get it cheaper as a standalone. And Dead Alive 6, the digital deluxe edition, which normally sells for like 70 quid, you can get it for £17.49. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is 8 quid.
Nice.
There's also Dragon Ball Fighter C, which used to be sold for 50 quid, is now sold for £7.49 minus
Wow.
the DLC.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then
you can play on Game Pass as well.
yeah, and also Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear are both coming to Game Pass next year. They were announced during the Tokyo Game
Yes.
Show. So if you're a fighting game fan, you got all them, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, lots of really good fighting games coming to Xbox the next couple of years. Killer Instinct 2, come on, make it happen. Get a fight stick.
Well, there's a bit of a weird thing though, that apparently Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is slightly more expensive so far than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is like £6.59.
Infinite's not supposed to be a very good game from what I've heard. That's probably why.
No.
It's a downgrade.
There's also there's also One Punch Man, and I think it's My Hero Academia, My Heroes One's Justice, which sells for less than £10, as well as Override. And there's Persona 4 Arena, which is a fighting game, for about £3.59.
Wow.
And Tekken 7 is like, you get it for 6 quid. And there's Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown for like 3 quid. Virtua Fighter 2 is like £1.69. And there's Soul Calibur 6, as well as King of Fighters 15. Well, this one sells about $37.49, which is 25% off, and you get UFC 4 by EA. And there's also some like DLC which you can get for different fighting games as well.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I mean, just around this off now. I enjoyed my time with Street Fighter 6. It was a lot of fun. The people who I know who are really into Street Fighter games said it's the best Street Fighter game in years, and they're very happy with it. They're very excited.
Plus, it's
I'm
got
very
a really
excited.
good. It's also got a open world single player campaign where you get to fight people in the streets.
It's going to be
So
fun.
it looks it's really shaping up to be a solid entry in the Street Fighter series.
Oh, for sure. I'm very excited for it. As I said, the guys who I went with, they really enjoyed it as well. I think we're all very excited for it. We're definitely all going to be buying it. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. I would say like I had a very, very, very good experience with it. As someone who's not a fighting game aficionado, I still really enjoyed it. And for people who are really into fighting games and go to tournaments and stuff, they seem to really like it as well. So it's good for casuals and for hardcore gamers alike. I would highly recommend Street Fighter 6. And I can't wait for the full game. And it can't be that long away because it seems really well polished. And I can't see him much more to do.
Now, I got a question for you before we can wrap this up.
Yeah.
Are you... So, given that Street Fighter 3D editions are like Street Fighter 4 all the way to Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Now, are you totally interested to see that same treatment to the Darkstalkers franchise?
I don't know what that is. Darkstalkers.
What, you never heard of Darkstalkers?
No. I think I've... No, I don't think so.
Because that's where you get Morrigan from, who pops up in Gem Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh right, okay. I don't know. Maybe I've never played it. Sorry, I wish I had a better answer.
There was a time where they were going to do the resurrection of the Darkstalkers franchise, and they're going to put it out as like Street Fighter 4, but what they got instead was like a re-release of all the Darkstalkers games into a one package, and it was basically like Capcom to see, oh, if you like this game and you bought enough of it, we could make it, but then they didn't notice it hasn't sold well, which ironically is actually the 6th highest selling game of, I think it was March 2013, and people were interested in it, and yet they expect people to vote with their wallets, and then Capcom reckons it's not going to be enough. But now you just still get like lots of Street Fighter. It's really a huge staple of the esports thing, which ironically, there's lots of different fighting games by Capcom in the 90s in particular.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, everything is fine. Well, we can finally get settled in Street Fighter because we tried to go for like Western releases and thought, nah, just stick to some same old franchises that everyone loves, and everything else that people seem to forget about, just don't worry about them.
Yeah, so I've never played Darkstalkers. I'll have to try it. I'll out. I'll let you know. I will try it out when I get a chance.
Well, you can get this in either like Capcom Fighting Collection, or you can get as a separate download as part of Capcom Arcade Stadium.
Alright, I'll have a look into that later, yeah. But yeah, so Street Fighter 6, highly recommend. Try it out. If you get a chance to try the demo, play it. If you get a chance to play it. Highly recommend it. I think it's going to be a really good game. Best fighting game I've played in a while, and can't wait for the full release. That's pretty much my preview of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I might not be the most knowledgeable, but I tried to be as helpful as I could when it comes to it. I enjoyed it, so I'm very happy with that. So that is essentially the show for the week, unless there's anything else you wanted to discuss.
That's all.
Now, thank you guys for watching X Marks the Box. We're still quite low on subscribers, so if you want to subscribe to us on YouTube, we would really appreciate that. We would be really happy if you did do that. So thank you guys for watching anyway. And follow me on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter as well at XMarksBox. And until next time, just sweet. Later, guys. Bye. Bye. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at XMarksBox on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.